this is Reilly-Boccia, here to talk about how the step back drill can enhance tilt during our swing. The tilt is extremely important to any softball or baseball player's swing. If you go and Google any elite Major League Baseball player or any high-level Team USA professional or even collegiate softball player who has found success, you will notice at contact they have great tilt and are hitting up against a strong front side. We're going to talk about three specific things with this drill. We're going to talk about one, the proper setup for the step back drill. We're going to talk about how our load in stepping back really activates the muscles necessary to be successful in a swing. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how important that front side angle is and what the optimal angle to hit up against would be. So when we mention strong front side, what does that really mean? It means that when we hit, we want to make sure that we have whatever power and momentum we have that we're creating from our back side once we commit to the swing. We want to make sure we have a strong front side available to take the force. We do not want a weak, soft front side. A weak front side consists of a front side with a lot of bend at the knee, opening at the hip, or falling forward of our trunk and torso. The example I used in my blog is the comparison between punching a brick wall versus punching a pillow. If I had all this power and energy coming from my backside and I was to hit up against a pillow, a soft front side, this is how my swing would look. I would drag everything forward and I would barely have any power left to transfer into the ball. And my ball would probably not go very far. Whatever energy and momentum I wanted to use for my lower half would be lost. Hitting up a strong front side, or a brick wall example, would be the equivalent of having, boom, power. Once that front side comes down, I stay balanced. My nose stays on top of my belly button. It's right on top, right through here, I'm centered and balanced. I have the proper tilt, proper angle. I'm not caving forward with my posture at my waist. My knee is not bent. My hip is not flying open. These are all great signs that your hitter is hitting up with a strong front side. So for the step back drill, for someone who is having a difficult time understanding the proper angle of tilt, and when we talk about tilt and angle, we're talking about the angle of our front side leg in comparison with the ground, okay? We do not want this angle to be straight up and down. We do not want our hip right on top of our foot. We want it to be slightly at an angle. We don't want too much angle. This is going to have zero linear motion in our swing. Our swing will be completely rotational, and we're not going to get very much power into the ball. We're going to leak a lot of it in our twisting motion, okay? So, first of all, for setup for the step back drill, because we are stepping backwards, we are going to set up a little bit closer to the tee than we would. If this is where we would normally set up for the tee, for our step back drill, we are going to be slightly closer, okay? We're going to start off in our regular stance. We're going to make sure we're checking in. This is how the drill works. We are going to take a step backwards with our back side. We are never going to move our front side. What this is going to do is it's going to really overemphasize and exaggerate the load, but it's also going to set our front side up at the perfect angle we need it to be to make optimal contact, okay? So again, it's a slight step back. We're really sinking in to our lower half. Just like the walk-through drill, we're landing on the ball of our foot with our heel slightly off the ground. By doing this, you're going to automatically feel the larger muscles of our legs, our quads, our hamstrings, and our glutes. We're going to start to feel them firing, okay? This is going to activate those muscle groups and allow us to utilize them when transferring power and momentum into the ball. So, I take my step back. This is how the drill is properly performed. I take my step back, and then I explode right through the ball, okay? Hopefully by the time I finish my swing, I'll have a good angle and a proper strong front side. One good comparison to this drill and to just understanding what a strong front side really means is to look at any elite pitcher in softball. When they go to pitch, once that front side comes down, everything works around the center of the body, okay? If that front side stays bent in the pitch, they're not going to have very much power coming through the ball. Any elite pitcher, any high-level collegiate softball pitcher, you're going to see them, boom, that front side comes down. You're going to have a great breaking motion. It's going to allow their hand and their arm to whip through the zone, and they'll be able to fire a hard pitch. Same idea with hitting. 3 main things to remember for this drill. We want a proper setup to the tee, which means we're moving slightly closer to the tee than usual. When we load backwards, we're loading our hands in the proper position at the same time. So we're here, loading our hands back. At the end of our load, our knob should be facing our catcher. Our heel should be slightly off the ground. We should start to feel all of these muscles activating. And then we're going to fire our back knee towards our front knee, trying to get as much power as possible through the ball. This is like a rubber band. If I were to have a rubber band grounded here, and I would stretch it back, once I finally let it go, it would snap forward. Same idea for this drill. I'm in my stance, I'm checked in, I load back, and then everything I have comes through the ball, and hopefully, because I stepped back initially, I'm going to have the proper angle for great tilt for hitting up against a strong front side. This has been Reilly-Boccia talking about how to increase power and tilt by using the step back drill.